Welcome back to your third tutorial where today we'll focus on creating revolves. I've already started my new document and named it Revolve, and now I'm ready to start my first sketch. I'll create a sketch and select the front view as always, and then select the front view on my navigation cube so I'm looking straight at it. I'm now going to create a rough sketch of a polygon, a four-sided polygon, and then I'll go back in and add its dimensions later, just like we've done on all of the other tutorials. I want this line here to be vertical, and then I want this line to be vertical as well. Now we'll go in and add dimensions. I want this line to be 1.5, and this line to be 1. I want the aligned dimension on this line to be 0.35. And then the horizontal dimension of this line, if we can get it to come out, it's not going. Try it this way. So we want the width of the shape to be 0.25, like that. We'll then have to draw an additional line to use as our axis for our shape. Most people mistake it for an axis that's already in the program or already present, but it's not. You do have to draw this line in order to use it as a revolving axis. So once I've drawn that line, it doesn't really matter how long it is. It just matters how far away from the shape it is, which needs to be 0.5. We'll then finish the sketch and then we'll revolve it. So I just want to rotate to an isometric view so I can see what I need to click on. Choose the revolve command, choose the shape you want to revolve, and then in the dialog box you want to click revolve axis and then choose the axis you want to use, which will be that line, and then just click the green check like that. And then we can rotate around just to see what it looks like. Our next shape is going to be a rectangular prism with a circle on top of it. The dimensions for that rectangular prism are 1.75 by 1.25 by 0.5 inches. So we'll first start with a rectangle. So I'm going to start with a sketch. I'll put the same sketch on the front view as always again. Rotate and then draw a rectangle using my polygon command. Left click, it'll prompt you for the dimensions. You want it to be 1.75 by 1.25, and then finish that sketch. Rotate around and extrude it 0.5. And then click your green check. And then on top of this rectangular prism, I'm going to create another sketch, and this is where we're going to draw a semicircle. So you can start with a line like this, and we want the length of that line to be 1. And then you can add an arc right here. Click, click, and then drag it out, and we want the dimension of that radius to be 0.5. Oops. And it looks like it already is, which is good. And then we want to locate this semicircle by putting a dimension from here to here and making that 0.875. Enter. Like that. And then You want one final dimension from this corner to the bottom of the rectangle, and you want that distance to be 0.125, like that. Finish that sketch. I want to rotate it again, and then I want to revolve. I'll choose the shape I want to revolve, and then the axis will be the edge of the semicircle like this, and then you'll just click your green check like that. We're then going to do the exact same thing just to show you what a cut revolve would look like. So you want to recreate this exact same polygon with the semicircle on top, or the exact same rectangular prism with the semicircle on top. So I'll start a sketch, I'll put it on the front view, I'll rotate to the front, draw my rectangular prism, or rectangle, and then dimension it. You want it to be 1.75 by 1.25. Finish that sketch, rotate and extrude it at a distance of 0.5. And then click your green check. We'll start a sketch on the top of it, and then rotate using the navigation cube. We want a line that has a distance of 1. So I'm going to go ahead and dimension it. 1, and then we want it to be 0.25 away from 0.125 away from the bottom. 0.125, and then we want it to be 0.875 away from the left edge. Go ahead and get those things aligned, and then I'll come back in and add my arc with a radius of 0.5. Oops, that's close. Then I'll just add my dimension, 0.5, enter, just like that. And then we'll finish that sketch, rotate it again for our final step of revolving it. So choosing that semicircle, choosing the right edge of it as our axis, and then you can choose remove, and it should cut through it. It may not cut through it because our box isn't quite deep enough. So I can come back in to this extrusion, and I'm going to make it just a little bit bigger to work with this shape. So you see, you can just double click on this extrude to and change that distance to make it thicker, and then that revolve will work. So it didn't work because it was just a little bit too short. With this having a diameter of, or a radius of 0.5, and then the shape being only 0.5, it created some issues there. So there are some limitations of this program, that being one of them. So I was still able to cut it out by making this a tad bit shorter. If you want it to look more like this one, I can come back to this extrude to and change it again, and I could do like 0.55 or something. So it resembles more of this shape, but still allows the cutout to fit. And then there you go. That'll complete your third tutorial, and then we'll come back for our fourth one.